Okay guys, I am Abdul, and today in this session I am going to show you how you can use JSTL core tag inside href attribute of an anchor tag. So here in this file, in line number 4, I am using taglib directive to import JSTL core tags library via this URI attribute, and here this prefix is set to C. Using this prefix C, we will be able to use all the JSTL tags inside our code here inside body. So inside body, I am going to have here a text that is your favorite language, and after this text, I'm gonna have here a bold tag. Inside this bold tag, I'm going to use JSTL core cout tag with the value attribute set to this EL script, and inside this EL script I'm gonna access param.lang. Now after this bold tag, I'm going to have line breaks. After these line breaks, I'm gonna have an anchor tag right here. Okay. To the href attribute of this anchor tag, I'm going to use again JSTL core cout tag with the value attribute set to EL, and in this EL I'm going to access page context object. This page context is an implicit JSP object, and via this page context object we can access other implicit objects of JSP like session, like request, etc. in different scopes. Using this page context, we can access request object in either request scope or application scope or even session scope. For more information on this page context object, go ahead and access JSP documentation and then their page context object. So now object, this context I can access the request object, and from this request object I can access further request URI. Request URI means request uniform resource identifier, and then after this value attributes EL, I'm going to have here a query string appended to this page context.request.request URI. I'm going to have here a query string like lang is equal to maybe English. Somebody is going to click the text of this anchor tag, the link of this anchor tag, that is maybe my favorite language. Then clicking this my favorite language will simply trigger this anchor tag, and this anchor tag will further load the page having this URL. And what kind of URL is being generated by this L expression? So let me show you. This page context will return the request object, and with the help of this request object I am accessing request URI. This request URI will actually return the URL of currently executing page. Currently executing page is JSTL example.jsp. So this particular EL expression will return the path of this JSTL example.jsp to this href attribute, and along with that href attribute there will be a query string appended to it, that is lang is equal to English. So if I go ahead and simply run this once again, if I go ahead and run this JSP file, what I'm going to have a text here. Then here at first run I will have a blank. Why? Because this param.lang will return nothing at first run. But after then, if we go and click this my favorite language link, then what will happen? This href will simply load the page having this URL, and from here we are going to have the URL of this currently executing page along with this query string. So in second run, I mean when we click this my favorite language text, so in the second run, this URL will have this query string, and hence this query string will be grabbed over here on the page loading. I mean param.lang will simply return, look, this lang query string will be fetched here, and this lang query string's value will be English right now. So we will have something like this on second run. Your favorite language is here. It will simply cout statement will simply display param.lang, I mean English, and after then I will have this anchor once again in the body. So if I go ahead and run this file, this is the first run, and look, inside body we had text here that is displayed on the output right here, and then this is printing nothing. Why? Because cout's value attribute is currently returning null. Why? There is no param.lang available right now, so there is a null. And after then I have this anchor text, I mean hyperlink. So when I will click this hyperlink, what will happen? Clicking this hyperlink will simply trigger this href attribute, and this href attribute will simply look, this href attribute has cout JSTL tag, so this value attribute will simply inject here the URL of the page that will get loaded after clicking this link, and the URL is page context, I mean JSP implicit object, and the request object, and we are accessing request object from this page context object, and then this request URI is returning currently executing page URL, that is this one, and lang is equal to English will be available in second run over here. So param.lang will simply print this English. So if we go ahead and click this my favorite language, look, I have here your favorite programming language is English.